To my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In yesterday's video we looked at big expected news for MMTLP, and in today's video we're going to be sharing this news that was shared in yesterday's space call. We're also going to be looking at a response to the shareholder letter from the Meta Materials MMAT board, and also be looking at ticker symbol SNOW, Snowflake. So stay tuned for that. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Stock Market News, our first post, we can see here that Jerome Powell and the Fed's preferred inflation index has just been released. So the PCE for February just came in at 2.5% year on year, in line with expectations, and the core PCE for February is 2.8% year on year, also in line with expectations. So in terms of Jerome Powell, what he did say is that we want to be more confident before we cut interest rates. So he seems to be erring on the cautious side, which I think is as expected. And in general market news, we can see here Asian markets edge higher. So US and European markets were closed today. And we can also see in terms of gold has now hit an all-time high of $2,225. So in yesterday's video, I shared this post from Due Diligence where he stated, tomorrow night I'm going to drop a bomb on all of you. You don't want to miss this. And this was for MMTLP. So at that time, nobody knew what the news was. So I'm going to share with you the details that have been covered. So what Drew has followed up with is, first of all, he's talked about reaching out to the SEC. And what he stated here is the cover page of the binder he's delivered to the SEC. And when he met with the parties involved, the binder included the cover page, Faces of MMTLP collage, and Norman letter to FINRA response, NextBridge Hydrocarbons PR responding to FINRA, the breakdown he wrote with regard to FINRA's response, and every single congressional letter that they had. So we can see here obviously the letter attached as well. However, I think some things for confidentiality reasons are blurred out. But in summary, I think what can also say he's apparently has reached out to Hester Peirce in terms of the SEC. Apparently I don't think she was aware of the MMTLP fiasco, and we could be getting another update in 30 days from this meeting. Let's now have a look at response by Meta Materials to the shareholder letter. So shout out here to StatusPay, who's just posted, we received a response from the chairman of the board, Jack Harding. We did send a response back seeking clarification and transparency, and we asked that all shareholders push for the unanswered questions to be addressed in the upcoming presentation. I'm not sure that's happened, but he also goes on to say we are thankful to have an engaged group of shareholders, and we all want Meta Materials to succeed. So certainly agree with that. So let's have a look at a reaction here from Sensi, who stated, Jack Harding, the MMAT chairman, board of directors, 4 questions. Why did the board choose not to stop the MMTLP corporate action? Why choose to stay quiet on the matter post U3 halt? Because obviously there should be no reason to stay quiet. Where is the corporate action amendment receipt? And can you please address concerns of a hostile takeover? So I believe these are interesting and important questions, and I would like the board to respond to them. And what Sensi has also posted with regard to my previous video, where I looked at some important tweets from George Palikaris, and he stated here, the highlighted tweets from George in my recent video bring to light his old questions from a year ago. George did know that the MMAT board chose not to stop or pause the corporate action. So the opinion here is he chose his career over retail by staying quiet, because that's what he stated. He stated that the board, he had to follow what the board stated. And then obviously we got the flamethrower distraction. What to do is have a look at the earnings results for Meta Materials that was just released. So shout out here to Peter, who's posted some of the key highlights shared in the earnings for the year end 2023, including revenue, cash on hand, burn rate, patents, long-term debt, etc. So let's move on to some of the key important sections that I've picked out. So the first one I think is with regard to assets on the balance sheet, and what I can see here in a very significant decline. First of all, we can see the cash has decreased from just in excess of 10 million to 9 million, so not a huge decrease there in cash. However, total current assets is down approximately 5 million from just in excess of 22 million, 22.6 million to 17.39 million. So again, quite a significant decline in cash, but I think the big drop here we can see is in the total assets. So if we have a look at the total assets figure at the bottom, so for the year end 2022, the valuation of total assets was well in excess of $408 million, and right now we're looking at total assets in excess of 55 million. So that is a very significant drop. So where has this drop taken place? So we can see goodwill from a previous 281 million is now down to 0, so there is no value anymore for goodwill. And we can see intangible assets are down from just in excess of 56 million to a current 18 million, just in excess of 18 million. So that potentially indicates either loss of patents or loss in valuation of patents, or obviously a decline in the valuation. So we can also see property, plant, equipment is down from a previous 42 million to currently valued at 18.6 million. So not great figures there. And what we can see in terms of the liabilities here, total trade payables has increased. So we can see from just 6.9 million, it's now gone up to 10.2 million. So that's not good news. Total current liabilities up from 19.6 million to 23.58 million. And the overall total liabilities have increased by 3 million to currently now in excess of 33 million. So it looks like they are going to be in significant difficulties with regard to cash. And finally, I'm going to have a look at the operating and comprehensive income statement, and we can see here total product sales have declined quite significantly from just in excess of 1.2 million to 117,000. So that is a very, very significant decline. We all expected sales to increase, but they have decreased quite significantly. So that's led to gross profit going down some 7.1 million to just in excess of $4,691. So not a huge figure there at all. And right at the bottom, net loss, again, this is a substantial increase from 79.1 million to a net loss of 398.1 million. And this certainly explains why the company are doing what they are doing to get the extra cash. And finally, I'm going to follow up from the previous video where we looked at the symbol SNOW, also known as Snowflake. So this is a stock that I also personally invested in, and there was news in terms of a significant buy from the CEO. So we have a look at the details here. We can see that the CEO has added approximately 31,542 additional shares at a price of $158.52. So again, significant news there. And if you have a look at the long-term chart for ticker symbol SNOW, we can see recently it has come down quite significantly in price. It was trading close to $240 fairly recently. Currently it seems to have support just in excess of $160. I think it may go closer to $150, but if we look at the volume, it is certainly increasing. And if we have a look at the trend in terms of support, it certainly seems that it could be a bullish signal for hopefully for a rebound, especially in terms of what we're seeing from the significant insider buy. And I think long term, especially with what's happening in AI, I think SNOW is certainly one to look at for your watch list. And finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.